So you've been dumped by the woman you like, and now you don't know what to do with your life or how to get her back. This is something all men have to face at some point in their lives, but for many, making the wrong decisions will often break any hope of reconciliation. You see, women are no different once the relationship ends than they are when you're together. She might know you a bit better, but chances are you became weak and pathetic, forcing her to lose interest and finally walk away. Fortunately, the power of no contact can help you get your ex back, but there are a few important rules you need to follow. So, without wasting your time, let me share the 8 most important no-contact rules that high-value men follow, making their exes crawl back. Number 1. Go silent. Let's take this from the top and start with each rule as it will present itself to you. The first thing you need to do is to go silent. This means that the moment you or she leaves the conversation where the breakup took place, there should be dead silence from your side. No begging, pleading, text messaging, or accidentally bumping into her. The idea is to create a sense of mystery that she doesn't expect. Since she's expecting you to continue pleading for her attention, shocking her with absolute stunned silence will make her wonder what's going on. Number 2. Reflect immediately. Now, I know the first thing going through your mind will be either texting her or calling up some of your mates. However, calling your mates means you'll likely just be complaining and seeking empathy from them. We'll get there, but for now, you should take a step back and reflect. If you need to get your emotions out, you should certainly do that, but avoid using coping mechanisms like alcohol, as you don't want to become the person who texts or dials her when he's drunk. This will reduce the chances of getting back together significantly. Number 3. Avoid checking up on her. The third phase is often the hardest. By now, you've reflected and gone through everything in your mind. However, subtle thoughts of forgiveness and longing are slowly creeping into your mind. You might just want to pick up the phone or send a text message to see if she feels the same. But let me tell you off the bat, she doesn't. In fact, she's relieved that she hasn't heard from you in a week or two, and for her, you're allowing her to have a clean breakup without any issues. If you do check up on her, either you'll be ignored or she'll start seeing you as weak. The issue is that women should be the ones who reach out first to see how you're doing. But if you're constantly locked up at home and not doing anything, you'll likely have trouble surviving this stage, which leads me to Rule 4. Number 4. Reaching out to your loved ones. After a couple of days of reflecting and making sense of what's happened, you might be craving that contact or just someone to talk to. Here's the thing. You might be craving to talk to her, and your undesirable desire to fix things will need to be quenched if you're to make it through the no-contact phase. Now is the ideal time to reach out to your friends and talk to them about what happened. While they might encourage you to go out, you should limit devices, as you don't want to fall back into restarting any contact after an accidental drunk text. You should spend some time with your mates and close friends. However, these should be your friends or family, and not mutual interests you and your ex have. Essentially, you don't want her to see or hear anything about you until you start the recovery phase. So, let's see what the rules are for the recovery phase. Number 5. Find out who you were before you started dating. During the reflection period, you should have already noticed where you went wrong. For some, it could take a few days, but many stubborn men will need some more time to see where they went wrong. You see, the fact that she fell in love with you initially means that you did something right back then. You might have been driven, highly focused, or even pursuing your purpose. However, the moment you started dating, you probably left all that and started giving her all your attention, and she was taking it for granted. Now would be a great time for you to envision the way you used to be and find out if you can still do that. If you've been neglecting your fitness and diet, you should get back to doing this. You might even dig up a few of your old hobbies, but the point is to keep busy with things that are purposeful, while the pain of breakup is eating you up from the inside. I often throw myself into fitness and working on my purpose, making it such an obsession that eventually I forget about the breakup. This also gives you a sense of accomplishment, which makes you feel like you're achieving something. But those days of doubt are about to hit. Number 6. Get yourself back out there. As you've probably noticed, I'm not even focusing on how this impacts your ex-girlfriend. The fact of the matter is that it doesn't matter what she's doing, and you're not actively pursuing her. Instead, you're becoming a better version of yourself that will naturally attract her. Once you feel confident and comfortable in doing the things that matter, and you see measurable levels of success by pursuing your hobbies and goals, you'll be ready to get back out there. You see, getting back out there with such levels of confidence will make you naturally attractive to other women, especially if you're in shape and looking fresh. What you'll find by now is that you can attract other women, but perhaps the most interesting thing I found is that exes seem to magically reappear through texting or through mutual friends at this time. Number 7. Dealing with her through no contact. If you've gone on at least 2 dates with other women and she comes back into your life, you should be ready to determine whether or not she's the one for you and if you still want her. Make sure to go on at least 2 dates to meet other people and see what they're like. If by then your ex is still the one you want, you should be ready to respond by now. However, you should make sure that you keep it as casual as possible, which will make her feel like you've moved on. As a caveat, I want you to remember the one thing every woman desires more than the man she has is the man she cannot get. And you have transformed yourself into something that she cannot get. But instead of just jumping back in her arms, you need to treat her like the other girls you went on date with. This will rebuild that attraction. Number 8. Reconnecting. The final rule is the most important of any rule. During the period, which might last anywhere from 30 days to 180 days, you've transformed yourself into a strong, confident man. You mustn't fall back into the weak and pathetic man she left in the first place, especially if you want to keep her around. You should consciously be aware of the fact that she's still screening you and is looking for the same weaknesses. In fact, she'll definitely test you frequently to see if you're the same person she dumped. Here's where the months of enduring pain and making decisions that you often didn't like will pay off. You should truly embody your masculinity at this point and make sure that you can walk away if she hasn't changed her ways either. This will keep the tension and keep her interested. But following no contact can be daunting, and I know many of you will have a hard time following these rules. If you mess up, you can simply restart and follow these rules as much as possible. If you found value in today's video, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips about attraction, masculinity, and personal development.